Okay.
Hi, good afternoon, Ritika. How are you?
I'm good, Sapil. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you so much. And thank you again for accepting my interview request. Really, I appreciate that. It means a lot. And I also being here, it has been a long time that I haven't interviewed with none of my colleagues. So it's also one of the precious time of myself here. Thank you so much again. And I don't want to keep you busy as I know that both are at work. So as format, let me introduce myself. My name is Serpil Soykan. I have been the executive assistant for almost 20 years. I love my job. Everybody knows about that. So it's time to introduce yourself, who you are, what you are doing.
Sure. Thanks, Sapil. It was really nice knowing about you. So I'm also in this industry from nearly 18 years. I've been a C-suite executive assistant with almost 18 years of experience. Worked in almost all the industries. You can say management consulting, FMCG, automotive industries, airlines, hotels. So all of this I've done in my past, and I love my work, similar as you. Uh, having a
Yeah.
wonderful
Your voice
but
has gone. Okay. Your voice has gone for a while. Would you please repeat what you have said for the last?
sure. Am I audible now?
Yeah, now I can hear. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I was telling you that I've worked in almost all the industries present in India here, and I am completing 18 years of work experience next week. So nearly to
Wow.
yours only, and I love my work the way you do. I just love
Wow.
it.
Yeah, that's nice. If you don't love this profession, it's something that you can't go, you can't continue. In
Yeah,
order to
definitely.
proceed our profession, to be able to work, you need to
Hmm.
put your heart, you need to put your passion, you need to do with your heart whatever you do. So otherwise, it's impossible. I know I feel how you feel. That's
Yeah.
why we are in this profession.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's start with the first question. As you said, you work in hold many
Industries.
responsibilities in different sectors like automotive, airlines. So as
Hmm.
we are holding the same title, the same profession, of course, our responsibilities change as per the culture, as per the manager that we are working with, or for the company. So what are you doing in a day? Would you please just summarize what you are doing? You get into the office and then what you are doing in a day?
Okay, so before I get into the office, I start my day with my emails at home only. Okay. I prefer looking at my emails in the morning when I get up so that I know what is the most important thing to be done in the morning. If there's something which is to be responded instantly, we do respond instantly in the morning itself before even going to work. And post that, once you reach office, there are few items in your inbox which needs action once you're in office, and there's a time limit. Like things need to be done before 10 a.m. So first is actioning those items. So that sorting is done at home only, even before when we reach office.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that is a very important part. Sometimes you don't have access or something, but then you should be particular on your timing, and you should immediately start your work once you reach office so that you can prioritize your work, how you have to handle it, what is the items which you need to immediate action is required, or which are the ones which can be done little later in the day. So you need to prioritize the things, and that's the first and foremost thing we do in the morning. Okay, may it be a
Exactly.
calendar invite which you need to change, or may it be a new meeting you need to set up with a client, or you need to follow up with a client for a meeting. Somebody has responded to you off hours,
Mhm.
so you need to respond to them based on the availability in the calendar. Then seeing there are multiple cab requests. So these days, due to the COVID thing, the travel is less. But otherwise, in normal days, management consulting people travel a lot. They travel like hell. Sometimes two cities in a day, sometimes back-to-back flights. also, taking hop over flight. So keeping that track, with, because we support multiple people at a time. We are not supporting one person. So I'm supporting 5 people at this moment. So, getting that track, who is where, all the cabs are booked or not, all the meetings are lined up or not, whether they're able to take flight at the same time or not. Do you have that gap in between? Like they need to they need to reach the airport 2 hours before the flight timing to, check in, and need to check
Exactly.
whether they can make it for that flight or not at time. So getting that backup ready. So, in management consultancy, we are always on toes. It has never been a relaxing day, even for, for few hours or maybe half an hour. You can say, no, you can sit and relax. No, that is never possible. So that's the part and parcel of a management consultancy.
And also COVID changed our lives, our responsibilities. I mean
Yeah.
that it puts another workload. In the past, we just used to be purchasing flight ticket and then just hotel confirmation, that's it. But right now, we need to check the restrictions of the countries, what they need as documents, as requirements, like filling the form, or PCR, lots of following up going on. And even you prepare all, you can't be sure 100% that your plan is going to continue as you imagine. You be sure, but so you need to just always on track. You need to check. That's it.
Yes. Due to COVID, our work timings has increased because we work with global teams now. Earlier, our leaders or executives used to travel for the meetings. Now every meeting is online, and sometimes the clients are not from India; they are from abroad. Somebody is in European time zone, somebody is in US time zone. So matching time zones, keeping on track whether what time they'll be getting on a meeting, whether there's a convenient time or not. And then we are stretching. If our bosses are stretching and doing calls during that time, we are also stretching and working during that time, so that to make sure the meetings are happening, there's no glitch at the last moment, keeping track on your phone whether they're not messaging you. Even if we are home, we are working in home, but
Yes,
even after work hours, we have to check that. We have to be on top of everything due to different time zones.
exactly. Okay, the second question is, what do you think that what are the key elements of an executive assistant success? What are yours? You have been having a long experience on this profession.
Yeah.
Which key elements took you here?
See, there are few elements which I feel are very, very important when you need that success. And yeah, you can say a success mantra to get settled as an executive assistant. Okay. So first one is being proactive. Even if you are, assigned 2 or 3 tasks, you need to be proactive and see what are the uh, tasks which you can grab more based on the assigned task. If you complete your assigned tasks on time, you can see what next you can do. You can go back to your bosses and ask for that.
Exactly.
Okay. Being proactive means understanding business also. Put your mind apart from what regular work you are doing. You need to understand what business your bosses are working on. What are their deliverables? What more you can do for them, to make their life easier, to make their work easier,
Absolutely.
so that they deliver things on time. If you pick up few things from their calendar or from their kitty in their inbox, you can, give them more work. You can give them more support based on that. So that's the first and foremost thing which is required for, uh, getting that success at work. Then I would say you should always be transparent in your communication, whatever it is. Even if you're wrong somewhere or you're not unable to understand something, you should be transparent about that. You should ask questions. You should never hesitate in asking any question, because if there's a task given to you, or you think there's some work coming in your boss inbox, and then you feel you can help him, but still you need some clarification out of it, that you think that this can be done in this particular way, but still you need to discuss with your boss that I am thinking this can be done in this particular way. do you suggest something else, or I should do it in this way and give you the base thing to work on? So you should be always transparent. If there's something you're not able to understand, go and ask. Never sit at that tasks that you are not able to understand, then you are keeping the task with you and then the deadline comes. So you should never do that. You should always be transparent about asking questions, communication. If there's a task given to you and you think you're not able to going to deliver at the deadline or the timeline, you'll not be able to meet the timeline, you need to inform your manager that I am doing this, I'm stuck here due to this external thing, or maybe you're not able to get some data for which you need to deliver, that is a requirement for that particular task. So you can give your boss an update that, see, I'm doing this task, I don't think I'll be able to meet the deliverable because of this so and so reason. So you should be always transparent, right? And then is like timely deliverables. You should always keep in your mind that things you're going to deliver to your manager, his deliverables are dependent on that. You should always keep that in mind, right? So you should have some buffer. You should have some buffer. So if you have set a deliverable for yourself, that should have some buffer, some extra amount of time, so that in case you get delayed, your manager's deliverable should not get delayed, right? So you should have some buffer. Always keep a buffer.
Absolutely, Ritika.
Yeah, you should be always committed on a timely deliverable because yours is connected to your manager's deliverable, right? And then important thing is first listen, then speak. So if your manager is telling you something or guiding you something or is asking for some work, first listen to that work instead of speaking. Once that person is done giving you all the information, and then you should ask your question. But first and foremost should be you should listen. What is being told to you, you need to perform a task or something is being assigned to you. You should first listen to it, and then you should speak and ask.
Exactly. This was something that I couldn't manage when I first employed years ago. I was just pushing myself to speak, to explain myself without listening. So always mistakes. So as the years are going on, so you understand the power of listening at first, listening to put the clarify what he needs, what he expects from you. And then you can speak.
Very important thing at work, right?
Yeah, right.
And lastly, I would say you should always be ready to learn new things. If you have not done some task in the past, but now they're showing some trust and giving you some extra thing, you should always have that, zeal to learn something new. Then only you can, succeed at work and perform extra mile apart from your regular duties. So these are the top most important thing as per me, which can make you succeed at work as an executive assistant. May it be any industry, may it be you are working with any level, you're working with a team, you're assisting a team, you're assisting CEO. If you keep these things in your mind, you will always succeed in your career.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ritika. And the last question is there a suggestion you can give to students, the future assistants, because they really need to hear really what this profession is? They just see everything on the books and then get into the business life without knowing anything. So we are the role model, we are the information bank for them. So it can be a training, a seminar, or again, a key elements that you are applying to your job to put you success. So
I would say, Sapil, like being an executive assistant is basically about providing, extensive, valuable support to a person or an organization in which you believe. Okay, it's a unique position, and whatever skill sets you have, you can always add to that for a long-term success. And if you take it as fun and love this, you can really succeed and perform in this, and there you can create a lot of long-term career goals, Because people think that you are just an EA, just an executive assistant, just an admin assistant, but they don't know the fact behind that. If you have worked as an executive assistant, you have so many opportunities in future for you. If you're succeeding today as an executive assistant, tomorrow you can see your growth path as a business support specialist. You can see your career growth as a chief of staff, and you can move to project management. You can add human resources, you can add operations in your career. So this is the if you have the skill set and you have the experience of an executive assistant, you can easily bring in these as well to your role based on what work you've done. Because until unless you learn something, you can't do these things, right? But if you keep your mind clear that this is the base for your next 5-year career goal, it will be really easy. And if you see trainings and all, many industries, many organizations, or many universities, schools are running these trainings, but there's no as such certifications for this. Okay, there are few courses which people do, and they are different based on your country, the region you are in. So if I say India, India has very few, schools, or you can say uh, small colleges which give these kind of certifications that you are a certified personal assistant or a secretary. They do train. I have myself done it, like good 18 years back. I've done that. So, but that is the base to start. You just cannot keep yourself stuck to that only one certification. That is the base. They tell you how to do it, they teach you how to do it, but actually it comes to you, how you do it, how you take it, how much you love it, how much you enjoy it, and how much committed you are to deliver. It totally depends on you. It's not only the studies you're given in the books. You need to be
Yes.
acceptable, that yes, you are, and you should be proud of it. You should never feel, oh, I'm just an executive assistant. No, you should be proud of it. You're giving such a valuable support to an organization, to a person. You should be proud of
Exactly.
it. You should
At first,
never
we
feel
need to
that,
give value.
yes, you need to give value to that role. Then only you will be able to, deliver and stand as a person in the industry. So, no, I have done this. I have achieved it. I have supported. So you need to, learn that thing. And that comes with experience.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we
yeah.
can both them.
As you said, at first we need to proud of what we are doing
Yeah.
with our profession. Otherwise, no people will give value to our profession. At first, they
Yes.
will
Yes.
accept this position is a crucial one, and then it's going to reflect our works, and then our managers, and then he's going to start giving value to us, our
Yes.
professional responsibilities.
Yes. Agree. And if I was telling you about, different countries' experience. So if you say, if I take London, London has institutes which give you certified executive assistant, courses and all that you can,
Uh-huh.
which is valid anywhere in Europe. So it depends upon country to country. Like in London, executive assistant, admin assistants are paid really very well. If somebody is holding that certification, they're like top of the cream. People are like that. Okay. If you go to Americas, there are certifications. But if you come to India, Asia, there are no certifications as such on this.
I
Yeah.
understand you.
So
Thank you
that's
so
it.
much. Yeah, we are done with the questions, but really appreciate all the information you have passed through here. And as I indicated in the first speech of myself at the interview, this will be a great information bank treasure for students, because they watch it and they get to learn how to do this perfectly.
Sure.
It's not only okay to carry out this profession, it's important to carry out what it deserves, where
Yes.
it deserves to take. So we are going to do that all together, give hand by hand. In which
Yeah.
countries we are, it's not important. So we are going to change the definition of this profession altogether and add more value,
Yes.
and bring it to the place where it deserves.
Yes. And we are working towards bringing it in front of people that, we also work and we hold a very important position in the business. We are not getting you the business. We are not getting you the exact numbers of sales or something, but the support which we are giving is invaluable. You know, that is very important. We should let these students know this thing. You should have this in mind forever. You should trust yourself, give your best. So I'm very happy to get into this interview, and I'm looking forward to getting an association with you to teach some more students, give them some refresher sessions to understand, ask, answer their questions. I'll be really happy to help you with that.
I'm so happy to see that passion, that light in your eyes. We are going to have a new project in the upcoming September as the universities and high schools are opening up. We are going to meet at lots of new seminar series here in Turkey with different universities because as I indicated earlier that I have lots of projects in my mind. Lots of will be with universities and high school, but on the other hand, there will be some secret missions that we will be discussing at the background. So, but the new projects are coming at the door. Just it's enough to knock the door and we are going to open it.
Okay.
But we will, of course, come up together in the first week of September with the universities because there will be new class, new students, new information will be needed. And we are going to collect new stories, new cases in our profession. And we are going to, the students will deliver everything from us in September. But thank you so much, Ritika. Very nice of you to accept and being here with me. And also I feel like it's the first time I'm here interviewing. It's really a long time. I miss being here. Thank you.
My pleasure. It's been really nice talking to you.
As the COVID allows,
thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you in person.
Yes, we will try to meet in person.
Exactly. Take care, please. Okay.
You too. Take care.